If you like this video, please press like and consider subscribing. Thank you. NASA was given perhaps most difficult task since the agency formed. The task wasn't choice, but a presidential directive to take humans back to the moon and to do it in less than 5 years. In July, we celebrated 50 years since humans first set foot on the moon. NASA, which has been struggling with diminishing budget, yet ever greater number of scientific programs, was given a directive by current administration to return America back to the moon, and to do it by 2024. Moon is a somewhat difficult subject for most US administrations. Each administration since Nixon administration way back in 1972 was struggling with the question of returning to the moon. Budget often being a decisive issue. Developing entire infrastructure to support human return to the moon wasn't going to be cheap or simple, and with diminishing NASA's budget, things didn't look great for fast return to the moon. If we go back as recent as Obama's administration's space policy, which set agenda for the next few decades, its primary goal was manned mission to Mars. Moon was considered potential stepping stone, but due to the funding issues, NASA could not support both missions. Either it is the moon or Mars. With the retirement of the space shuttle fleet in 2011, America needed replacement that would fulfill requirements for manned space program, as well as heavy lift capability. Constellation program, dating to Bush administration, was immediate response, immensely expensive and riddled with technical delays and financial quagmire. Program was fast replaced by Ares program. However, even Ares program deemed, and this program gave way to SLS program or Space Launch System during the last years of the Obama administration. But like its predecessors, Space Launch System is mired with delays and cost overruns. Even during the Obama administration and now Trump administration, the cost at some point reached the point where current administration had to look for alternative solutions to current predicament. One way to reduce the cost of the entire program is to invite commercial companies to play a more important role in space exploration and return to the moon. With much diminished role of Space Launch System, other commercial partners have taken over many segments of future manned moon mission. Most notably SpaceX with Falcon Heavy and future Starship currently under construction, and Blue Origin with New Glenn rocket, which will debut in 2021, in time to play an important role in manned mission to the moon. Obama's administration's space development plan would have saw development of near-Earth manned space capability, with a space station in cislunar orbit that would have acted as a springboard for manned exploration of the solar system. Now named LOBG or Lunar Orbital Platform Gateway, would perform the same role as its predecessor, but also act as a base of operations for lunar surface activity till full base on the lunar surface is fully established and in operation. NASA's $10.5 billion lunar exploration budget, recently announced, might go a long way to establish LOBG and some rudimentary infrastructure for future manned lunar program. However, this still falls short of what is needed by 2024. No doubt commercial partners will step in. Lockheed Martin's lunar lander could be in principle ready by 2023 if funding can be secured. Same year, SpaceX hopes to have Starship ready for the first manned flight. Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket will also be ready by 2022 with capability to deliver up to 12 tons onto the surface of the moon. Blue Origin is also developing its own lunar lander for this particular purpose. It is interesting to note that current administration issued a Space Policy Directive 1 calling upon NASA to return astronauts to the moon in December 2017. Basically, they're frustrated with the lack of concrete plan as well as budget overruns and delays from the Space Launch System. Vice President Pence announced that NASA should attempt to reach the moon by any means necessary, even if it means using rockets and landers built by the private companies. And that is quite important for private space ventures such as SpaceX and Blue Origin. It is hard to gauge how much manned mission to moon might cost and setting up a permanent base on the lunar surface, but estimates vary from $24 billion to $32 billion. However, NASA's current budget won't be able to cover any extra cost beyond already project a cost of around $18 to $20 billion for SLS and associated programs. So extra funding will need to come from somewhere else. Not sure the US Congress would agree to approve additional funding, as they see it as a pet political project, even though I think current NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine is doing a good job. Discovery of ice on the moon, ice that can be reused by future lunar inhabitants and colonists, discovery of 50-kilometer underground cave on the moon, and discovery of water, but also valuable minerals and metals, promises very exciting future for manned presence on the moon. However, 2024 deadline seems quite optimistic. Again, all these discoveries are nice, but funding isn't there. Congress just told Bridenstine they won't be approving additional funding. 2028 seems more likely date now for the first manned mission to the lunar surface. This will also work well with development of Space Launch System, which has faced many delays and financial setbacks. On a positive note, SpaceX and Blue Origin are racing ahead with their own respective rockets. Blue Origin's New Glenn will be ready by 2021. The rocket will be capable of delivering up to 12 tons onto the surface of the moon. And SpaceX is in advanced stages of developing Starship and Super Heavy, with both capable of delivering around 50 to 70 tons onto the surface with each landing. SpaceX Starship will be ready by mid-2021 for first commercial customers, with manned version of Starship being ready by 2023. SpaceX will try to certify Starship for NASA manned program by 2024, with SpaceX playing an important role in NASA's future manned program. Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket could be certified for manned lunar flights by 2025 if all goes according to plans. Blue Origin plans to develop entire architecture for lunar presence, and they've already showcased some of their ideas for lunar lander. Lockheed Martin, on the other hand, is also developing a number of spacecraft and landers for Moon and Mars, and no doubt they will play an important role in future lunar plans, especially as they are developing Orion spacecraft with the assistance from European Space Agency. Colonization of Moon and Mars is important, not only for America but also for the entire international community. This is why I think international partners will play a pivotal role in future space exploration and colonization of the solar system. However, it is clear commercial partners will have a lion's share in this effort. SpaceX, Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and a number of smaller players. Space is vast, plenty of room for everyone.